And because I was a gazillionaire and I liked doing it so much, I cut that grass for free.
Rachel, come here. You gotta read this stupid comment.
I wonder if he's ever hurt his shoulder from all that hard work he does. And by hard work, I mean patting himself on the back.
All right, guys, I have traveled all the way to North Carolina from Oklahoma on our Southern Domination tour. We're about to knock out this one. It's an abandoned property. I have no permission. That's the way this goes. It's called a stealth cut. I'm gonna come in, clean it up, make it look like a home again. Here's what I know about the property. I talked with some neighbors, and it's been vacant since Hurricane Florence. So it's unfortunate that that happened. I'm gonna come in, make it look like it's got some life again. This one's more for the challenge of it. Let me explain it. It's got all this crazy kudzu vine growing all over the house, but in the backyard, you can't even, oh, dead animal. But in the backyard, I can't even walk there. I don't even know if I can do this yet. Like, I can't get through here to get there. I don't know what's in between. I don't know if this is something I can do yet, but I'm gonna give it my best shot. All right, so we're gonna see if we can get a mower back there, get this cleaned up. Pretty wild. I don't know what kind of dead animals here is. I think it's got a tail. I'm guessing a possum. Little gross. That's the kind of dead stuff you normally see on properties. You know, it's just some kind of dead animal, this and that, whatever. And let's go look over here. Let's check out the house because I know you're excited. But hey, before you say, well, this one doesn't mean much, I just want you to know that I found this property. And because I found this property, came and looked at it, I actually found something right up the road that is very meaningful. So hang in there because I'm going to give you a sneak peek at that somewhere in this video so you can see what's coming in the next video. But let's go ahead and check this out a little more. We got some pine trees. We'll save a few of these. Some of them, they're destined for destruction with the mower. And then, you know, like down the side of the house, we got trees and this and that and whatever. I don't know how crazy I'm gonna get with this, but we're gonna make it look better. This tree on the side, by the way, one of my favorite trees. It's called a Mimosa Tree. It's considered a trash tree most places, but if you look at, oh, here we go. Look at these leaves. Now, when I was a kid, we had a real big Mimosa tree in our backyard, and I actually had a tree house in it. Now, those trees will have pink flowers on them, real pretty. The one we had in our backyard, just huge, bunch of shade from it. And because it was always dropping stuff, that's why they're considered as trash trees, because they're always dropping stuff. Now it's breaking down in the lawn, and we could literally take our hose out, put it on the lawn, turn on the water, and we would have huge worms come up that we could use for fishing. So that's that. That's your little lesson on that. We're gonna clean this up, see what we find. Looks like there might be some kind of landscaping in here. We're gonna see. I don't know much about much down here. This looks like a sweet gum tree, but who knows? This isn't my state. This is not my usual type of stuff here, and I'm hoping I don't get into anything itchy or scratchy or something I should not be in. I'm hoping I don't get attacked by a ground wasp or see any rattlesnakes. So having said that, if I see like wood and stuff, I'm just gonna leave it, maybe move it. I don't know, it depends. Move it with a mower, something. Let's see if I can try to get in the backyard to show you the backyard. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna make it an honest attempt. But it is absolutely nuts. This kudzu, man, it looks like massive poison ivy or poison oak, just huge leaves, kind of similar, not exactly. Oh man, that's the backyard. What am I doing? Sometimes I push the envelope so far for myself that I'm like, I just can't believe where I'm at nowadays. Like several years ago, I was like, you know, if they want it more than 1 week, I'm not cutting it, because that's what it takes in the lawn business. Like, I'm not doing it. Now I'm like, crazier the better. I want the challenge. The machines will take it. I've learned that about these machines. They are built well. By the way, We're gonna be using a Hustler mower today. I'm not sponsored by Hustler, which is awesome because I get to do what I want when I want, how I want. And because of that, she got a facelift because I asked you guys, hey, what color should I paint the equipment? And it just so happened that you guys said,
it's my new obsession. It's not even.
I can't reuse bottles on my rig because sometimes they become pee bottles. I don't know if this one has or not. And by the way, if you're wanting to know, from a professional peasman, it's like a professional fisherman, but I like to pee outdoors. I'll look for hidden spots on the property to pee, or I'll pop open the passenger or driver's side door, pee. Yeah, I'll show you. Just like this. Pee right there. Not inside your truck, like between the door and the truck on the ground. Why? Because that's what you gotta do, man. I'm on these jobs for hours.
Pink as the bing on your cherry.
Earman. Woo! It is hot. Oh, like hot pink.
Pink, it was love at first sight.
So, why do I wear black? That's a good question. There's two reasons. One, I'm stupid.
Are you stupid or something? I'm as stupid as a stupid does.
Two, I look so good in it. Yeah. I'm kidding. I don't know. I feel good in it. Comfortable. You know. As far as like the heat, when I was out doing this every day, 20 lawns a day, I would wear like a fishing type shirt or athletic shirt. It would breathe and you can feel all the air and it's like, yes. And same thing, you can get fishing pants or not athletic pants, but there's pants for like working outside that are amazing. Blue jeans, thick boots, thick dicky shirts. Not the way to go with mowing lawns. Not out in the heat, just saying.
Yeah, pink is like red, but not quite.
What it do, baby boo? Back for another crazy yard. Thank you guys for joining me for this wild and crazy property. Today, well, I'm going to be talking with you. Rachel's in the background doing her makeup because apparently we're now one of those makeup and tell story channels.
It's the perfect time to do it.
Perfect time to do it. So this yard is insanely overgrown, and as I talked about, it's got a lot of kudzu vine, a lot of trees, just a lot of overgrowth. Now, kudzu vine is actually, it's a very invasive species, and I'll talk about that later in the video, and basically how it got here and came to America and that kind of stuff. But as you can see, what it does is it overgrows everything and just destroys it and kills it off. So it's not a bad thing that I'm coming in here and cutting this, I don't know, finger quotes, green space. It's probably a beneficial thing, although, you know, it's one of those things that being very invasive, it's going to grow back. So it just kind of is what it is. It was very, very fun for me to cut because it was a challenge. I hadn't cut anything quite as crazy yet, and it's a lot different cutting over vines than it is cutting grass. So, you know, that's one of the things while we're on this tour and we've been going state to state, being able to cut different types of things, you know, whether it's their native turf grass or just overgrown wild crazy stuff, which is kind of what I like doing. The challenge and seeing how it's different from state to state is really cool. Also, the soil types are a lot different. So, you know, as we got further away from inland and more towards the coast, you start running it into like sandy soils. And I say sandy soils. The soil shouldn't even be in there. It's just straight sand. They call it soil because it's got a slight hint of brown in it, but it's basically white sand. And it absolutely destroys the blades. A lot of people ask me, and they've been asking me, how often do you sharpen your blades? Well, really, when I started taking on these wild, crazy properties like this, I pretty much gave up on sharpening my blades. And in fact, since I got this mower, I have not sharpened or changed my blades. Now, having said that, we are we're back in Oklahoma now because I didn't want to make these videos and put them out while we were on the road so that somebody could go, oh, they're in North Carolina right now. Let's go rob their house. I'm not an idiot. So that's why there was a 3-month gap there, guys, okay? I didn't want to do that to you guys. I really wanted to, you know, tell you guys where we were and that kind of stuff so we could do meetups. But that's just not what we're able to do right now. So it's very unfortunate that the world's like that, but I have to be a realistic person and understand that that is how the world is. And down the road, once we have a new location and we can, then we'll probably go that rate. That route. Sometimes I get to mumbling, man.
I noticed that you had a lot of spunk on these jobs.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, you were excited about these jobs. I'm like, you're excited when you're here. You were excited when you were in Arkansas. But this was like something, it was a different kind of excitement.
Yeah. It's just different environment. I mean, if you think about like mowing here in Tulsa, where I'm from, where we're located, I guess. I don't know what to say there. I've lived half my life now here in Tulsa, so I think I could say I'm from here at this point. Just a quick disclaimer. Don't do this to your mower. It's not good for it. Like riding a bull there for a second. But
you know Tulsa better than
I get
one
around
that's
really
born
well.
and raised.
But all I see here though is basically privacy fences. That's all I saw for like 10 years while we're doing the business. Is
right.
All the backyards and the subdivisions are all privacy fence. Now, a lot of the lawns that I show on the channel, some of them are on the edge of town, so you can see a little bit more, past their yard. And so people think that we have really big yards here, but, a lot of them are, smaller subdivision yards that are, they're not exciting. And it's literally cutting the same grass over and over. And for a lot of years, it was cutting the same lawn over and over, and to the point where every divot inside that yard, and you're like, oh yeah, that bomb's coming up, okay, shoot around it. It just gets boring.
Right.
And so, going on the road, I don't know what I'm coming up against.
Yeah.
And, they're talking about snakes and stuff like that, and I'm like, ugh, I don't want bit.
Yeah, you're interested in all the obstacles that you're going to be coming up because they're completely different.
Yep.
So that makes sense that you were excited about it.
This is the flower from a magnolia tree. There's a pretty big one over there. And these trees are just gorgeous. They look beautiful, especially when they're all bloomed out. But these leaves, see, they're more like what you'd see in a rainforest, real thick and leathery, right? So these will actually fall later in the year, like through the heat of the summer. They'll stay green all winter and bloom in the earlier spring to midsummer. But yeah, they're a mess year-round. Long guys, I got to tell you, if you see a magnolia tree, just know it's going to take you some extra time because you're going to clean these up through the summer. They're going to be a mess. They're going to be hard to clean up. You can mulch them, but it's going to be difficult. You're going to have to mulch them and use your mower to kind of shoot them into one location. Then you're going to have to bag them and get rid of them that way. You can't really mulch them and get rid of them in the lawn. It's not going to happen. Now, one cool thing about these, if you're into aquariums, which I have been in the past, I really enjoyed it. My actual first business was an aquarium business where I built custom designed 3D backgrounds for aquariums and installed aquariums for people. These leaves, if you're into freshwater shrimp, which you can get, they call them cherry shrimp, or you can get, all sorts of them, yellows, blues, whatever. But you can take these leaves and dry them out, and you can put these in the water. It will put tannins in the water if you need tannins in there for the shrimp. But the other thing is they will actually eat these, they'll turn brown. That's when you put them in, and they will eat these, and the only thing that'll be left is like the ribs in the leaf. It's really, really cool. And you don't need much, just one of these. It's food for your shrimp. And yeah, so that's that. Just take another look at that beautiful flower. All right, let's get back to it. If you've noticed, I'm being cautious. I actually even took off my glasses back here because I want to be able to see. I was told by one of the locals that if there's a spot, there's gonna be timber rattlers. It's gonna be in stuff like this where there's pine needles and stuff. And this type of stuff on the ground, this type of foliage. So I'm trying to be as cautious as I can with that while going radical with the mower, because that's the only option I have, is just send the mower so that I don't have to walk through it and be unsafe. Let's go ahead and let's go ahead and get in here a little deeper. Like playing a real life game of Where's Waldo. I'm mowing the yard, and you can't see me, but you can see all the foliage moving around. That's just, like I said, Southern Domination Tour. We're here to show everybody up. It's all about doing crazy fun stuff for me. So anyways, let's talk about the kudzu vine, because what you will notice is there's a lot of different trees, a lot of different plants, and a lot of different vines trying to take over the same space. But it really comes down to 3 or 4 invasive species that are dominating the area. Now, the one that's ultimately going to take over this space is going to be the kudzu vine. So the kudzu vine is known as the invasive vine that ate the South. And even though it looks pretty innocent, it will overtake trees, abandoned houses, telephone poles, pretty much everything. Now, as far as how it was introduced into the U.S., as far as what I could find, is it was brought in 1876 as an ornamental vine. But it was spread through 1930 and 1950 for erosion control. And they say it has a growth pace of up to 1 foot per day.
Wow. Which
is just insanity. As far as identification, I showed you earlier, it's kind of like got the soft leaves, the 3 leaves on the front, and yeah, oval shapes. It's after 3 years, it produces purple and red flowers as well.
So it's probably beautiful.
It is probably gorgeous, which, you know, ornamental, that's probably why it was brought here. Right. So, and then it is edible. So wow. They say that, I don't take this, you know, for fact. You do your own research. Don't go out eating stuff because I said it, okay? But from what I could find is it is edible, and I know that they have like festivals where they'll make jams and jellies out of the flowers and stuff.
Really?
Yeah, because like one of the best ways to handle kudzu.
Kudzu jelly.
Yeah. One of the best ways to handle an invasive species is to start consuming it.
Oh, okay.
So the kudzu leaves, flowers, roots can be eaten, but it says the roots should be cooked. Mm-hmm. So, you know, those are all things definitely to be taken into consideration. It's known as the mile-a-minute vine that ate the South. It's creeping, climbing, perennial vine, terrorizes all native plants. It basically just destroys everything. Now, as far as its origin, the kudzu vine is native to Japan and South China. At this point, Rachel's done putting on her makeup, and I'm going to have her go ahead and take over reading some of this article for you guys. Rachel, go ahead.
Okay, so it was first introduced to the United States during the Philadelphia Centennial Exposition in 1876, where it was touted as a great ornamental plant.
Touted? Touted?
Touted. I don't know. Touted is the word. So it was touted or tooted as a great... Touted.
Touted would be
Tooted.
T-O-O.
Okay, where it was used as a great ornamental plant for its sweet-smelling blooms and sturdy vines. From the 1930s through the 1950s, the Soil Conservation Service promoted it as a great tool for soil erosion control and was planted in abundance throughout the South. Little did we know that kudzu is quite a killer, overtaking and growing everything in its path. Kudzu grows out of control quickly, spreading through runners, stems that root at the tip when in contact with moist soil, rhizomes and bivines that root at the nodes to form new plants. Once established, kudzu grows at a rate of 1 foot per day with mature vines as long as 100 feet.
Well, I just want to say, anytime you hear rhizomes with a plant, that means it's going to be very, very difficult to get rid of.
Really?
Okay, so yeah.
I'm trying to imagine what that means. Like, I'm trying to physically see it.
Okay, so it would be like a little, bulb plants. You know, bulb plants have different bulbs.
Yes.
That's just like rhizomes. You're gonna have.
But they're on a vine. It's on a vine.
Yeah.
Golly,
But
it grows that
well, it'll
fast.
be underneath the ground.
Wow,
So-
that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, so you know, even if you try to dig out the root, you're not gonna get it out.
Okay.
That's basically what it's saying.
Wow, that's pretty amazing.
Alright, so I don't know if you can see it. There's a drone hovering somewhere right over there. And I can't take it down. I hope it goes to the home position. But yeah, that sucks. Come home, baby. I had to truck through the grass to find it. Oh, I can control it without it. I didn't know that. I don't need no screen. Good to know. There we go. Oh, there's also a home button. I guess I could have done that too. Let's go put a battery in this thing, eat some blackberries, and get back to work. It's hot. The equipment dies in the heat. I probably picked the worst area of the country to travel around in during the summertime because it's the hottest area of the country to travel around in. I guess it could have been worse if I went west, but I went east and south. Oh well, whatever. We are, let's see, we've hit Arkansas, Tennessee, we're in North Carolina, we got South Carolina, Georgia, Florida, Alabama, Louisiana, Texas, back up to Oklahoma, Kansas, Missouri, Indiana, Illinois, whichever order those go in, Kentucky, and then the Virginias. If I can, I'm going to swing up to Ohio too. So quite the amount of driving this year. All right, check this out. While I was mowing, I noticed that there's wild blackberries and they look like they're ripe. So they got 3 little leaves. Don't worry, it's not poison ivy. 3 little leaves with little thorns. They're not a thornless blackberry, they're a wild blackberry. We're gonna go ahead and try these out. That's good. Oh, that's really good. That one was a little tart, but ow. When I was a kid, I used to go pick these all the time. Let's see if I can pull this over here without getting too torn up. So when I was younger, I'd just walk through the vines, get torn up. It is what it is. I'm not that stupid anymore. Oh well, I'd like to think I'm not. But here I am, tramping through some crazy stuff back here. And I'm pretty sure jobs like these fully warranty your warranty. Just so we can kind of have a view of what we're going through here. Yeah, pretty big stuff. Not all of it, some of it. A kudzu has a lot of dust and pollen when you're cutting it, so I was wearing the thing over my face. I think that kind of helps some. Really all I got's about this and the stuff that's close to the house. And then the mowing's basically done, and from there it's trimming. And woo-wee. This is not too much in the back, but I got to get towards the house. We got a lot of vines on the house. I'll go ahead and pull those off. What is this? No way. Look at this tree. This tree is not growing from beside the house. That tree is growing from, gotta watch my footing, make sure I don't get hit by snakes. That tree is growing from inside the house. Not beside it, but inside it. Pretty wild. I've seen some poison ivy on here, but I'm not too worried about it. It's all low line. Hey, more easy to pick blackberries. Look at these babies. Yeah, buddy. Ooh, that's a nice one. That one is picturesque. Oh, it's so beautiful, so pretty. It didn't taste as pretty. It was a little sour. All right. Break time. I'm gonna get something to drink, and I'm gonna go show you what the next project is, because I found it finding this. So let's go shoot over there and take a sneak peek. What do you think? All right, here we are. No, I'm just kidding. Oh man, that's dumb. All right guys, I had to park just off the side of the road here. But this is what I found. Doesn't look like much here. This is an old cemetery. Someone came and put flowers at it, but it's been a long time now. But you can see it's just in shambles. It's not being really maintained. We got old broken headstones here. And yeah, so be cool to clean some of these up too. I don't know if I'll be able to do that, but I will be able to come in here and do some mowing. The grass isn't really too tall, but man, there's stuff over here like this tree. Somebody's trying to maintain it. It's right there. I don't know if it's a local or neighbor or what, but we got this tree here that fell. You know, little headstones all over the place. This one fell on the headstone and looks like it broke it. Let's keep looking. So later today we're gonna start cutting, and it looks like I can just put the wood and stuff off to the side down the hill. I don't think that, he's leaving the trash. We're gonna pick all that up. Doesn't look like there's any headstones down that way. Pretty crazy. This is probably a family plot. The name on the other side, no name at all. No, the name's on this side. I'll have to clear out some area back there where that can be seen still. And more than likely all this stuff will grow back, but I can do what I can. Now look at this. There's an old wrought iron fence that went around this. This must have been a family plot. You know? Somebody was here a long time ago. But, you know, everything rusts and fades with time. Like, there's people that have said on my channel that I do this for, you know, fame or clout or whatever word you want to use for it nowadays. But I know the reality of life. Everything here rusts away or fades into dust. It's only a matter of time. And putting videos on YouTube, I might be remembered for a while, but not forever. I'll fade off after my time is done, and I'm okay with that. But while I'm here, I'm gonna have as much impact as I possibly can. I'm gonna enjoy my life and do everything that I can. So we're gonna come here and clean up this hilltop cemetery. Look at this, it's right off the side of a main road. And nobody came in and took care of this. But you know who's gonna? Me, baby. I'm gonna make this place look beautiful. I say nobody's taking care of it. Somebody's trying, okay? The grass isn't too high. And there's piles of sticks and stuff. I don't know if I'm gonna go to moving piles of sticks. I've been told there's rattlesnakes down here, and that's where they like to be. So this is not my territory, okay? I know what to worry about and where to worry about it in Tulsa, in my territory, in Oklahoma. But here, I'm out of my zone. And until I'm comfortable, I don't really care to have a trip to the hospital and lose a hand or something. I don't know what happens if you get bit by a rattlesnake, but all right, this is the next project. Let's get back and get the one that we're doing completed. Whoa, and you'll see this one soon. Oh, by the way, I asked my wife to order some cleaner for these headstones, so I'm gonna clean up the cemetery as much as possible. And if I have time while we're down here, I'm gonna clean up as many of these headstones as possible. Should be cool, man. That's somebody's family. These people are probably long forgotten, you know. Saw a lot of the headstones, 1927, 1920s when they passed away. That's 100 years ago, man. So it doesn't take long for somebody to forget about you. You know what I'm saying? So stop worrying about being embarrassed because you tripped, or you don't have the prettiest smile, or you're not, I don't know, whatever makes you insecure, whatever it is that you're having issues with. Just don't be embarrassed about the little things in life. Try not to be embarrassed at all. It really doesn't matter, and in time we'll all be forgotten. So who cares what they think about it now? All right, having said all that, back to work. Oh man, this one is cool. I couldn't even set a tripod in this thing, it was so tall. So this one's purely for the challenge. As you know, it is an abandoned property. It does help the neighbors and that kind of stuff. But on that one that I'm working on right now, whoo buddy, that one is pure challenge. It's fun. I'm sending my mowers through stuff that I got to tell you, don't do it. Probably not the best thing for you to do. Probably will void all your warranties, and will make the life of your mower go significantly down. That's brush hog territory, but it's whatever. This is what I do. So yeah, little pink mower gets it, doesn't it? Check that out. A little hidden hydrangea. This used to be a beautiful yard. Don't judge me, dog. Do what I want. Oh, there's more. Smoking myself a thorn. That's cool. What?
That's the reason that we chose honey badger.
What?
Because honey badger, he don't care. Honey badger don't give
So this mower here, I started calling the honey badger because it will go through absolutely everything. About halfway through this job, I'm like, I can't believe something hasn't broke on this thing yet, right? And I've had this mower for a while, and I've been using it on different projects, but this was fairly close to the beginning of our lawn care tour.
It was.
And I was like, this thing is taking it all. So about halfway in this job, I was like, all right, let's go. We're just going to send this thing like crazy. And I started launching it over trees. I started cutting trees. Oh, that was weird. I started cutting trees down with the thing. They're like 5 inches round. I started using it like a stump grinder, just up and down on the deck. Just it took every bit of it. But what's more impressive than that, this mower took everything I threw at it over the whole summer, through the duration of all these properties that I cleaned up. It took every bit of it and didn't have one breakdown. Highly impressed. By the way, our mower blades, I'm wanting to, I'm thinking about signing those and giving them away. We got 2 mower blades that made it through the whole tour, didn't get sharpened once, and I figured it might make a cool garage ornament for somebody. So if you're interested in that, you think that's something I should do, let me know down in the comments below, and let me know what you think of the honey badger. I love a machine that will take anything you throw at it. And I gotta tell you, this one right here, woo! It does not let you down, baby. Oh, look. Fire hazard, fire hazard. I'll just put this on the ground. We're gonna stomp it out thoroughly.
And remember, kids, only you.
We ain't gonna be in no fire, not today.
Boy, look at this. Did we come a long ways or what? I mean, we were knocking down mostly vines and trees, but hold on, I got a phone call. It's my wife. What's up, baby doll?
Hey, I was just calling to check on you.
I have used my mower like a deforestation tool in this backyard, and I can see the backyard again.
That is so awesome, Kev.
I still got to cut the front yard and the side, and I got to do a lot of trimming, but this one's cool, and then I'll be on to that cemetery.
You're going to the cemetery today? But you don't even have cleaner.
No, I'm gonna knock down the trees and the grass and stuff like that.
Oh, so it requires cutting.
Yeah, I'll send you a couple pictures. I'll cut it and clean it up. And then we'll get some cleaner, and maybe we can go out there as a family and clean up some stuff.
That would be cool.
Would that be cool? Would you do that?
Yeah, I don't know why not.
I think that'd be kind of fun. We
Okay.
can scrub down as many as we can.
No stormy. Okay, that'd be great.
All right, well, I got to finish cutting the front yard, and then, you know, I mean, pulling vines and pulling out the chainsaw and doing some chainsawing. But I mean, it's kind of a yard again.
What? The house?
Yeah.
I love that.
Boy, it's a wild one.
Yeah, it looked like a huge project.
It is a huge project. I don't think I've done one. I know I say this a lot, but they keep progressively getting worse. I think this is probably the biggest one I've ever done, as far as like crazy overgrowth.
Really?
I was
Oh,
using
gosh.
I was
How's it
using
going
the
on
mower
recording
as a. It seems fine. I was using the mower as a stump grinder earlier. I ran over like this 3-inch tree, and then I was raising and lowering the deck. Just.
Gosh. Oh my goodness.
All right, baby. I'm gonna go ahead and get back to it.
All right. Well, I think we're gonna be heading to the beach probably in a little bit. So.
Oh, cool. Have fun.
Yeah, Hunglander said something about Rocky going. What do you think?
Yeah, if you want to.
Yeah, I thought that would be kind of cool.
He would love it.
Yeah.
Make sure he
Okay.
stays cool. He's getting older.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh.
And don't let him get too hot. He's a thick.
I'll bring like a water and a bottle or a bowl.
Yeah, he's a thick furred dog. And it's pretty warm out today.
Yeah, it is. Okay.
All right. I love you, Angel.
All right. I love you too. Bye.
Hey, you have fun at the ocean.
Thank you.
Bye, baby.
Bye, honey.
For those of you that think I went on tour to go on vacation, you are sorely mistaken. Now, however, I did bring my wife and daughter so that they could enjoy traveling all over the U.S. But me, well, I came here to dominate, and that's why it's a Southern Domination Tour. I'm gonna cut the wild and craziest, help as many people as I can, and just overall dominate like I normally do. So and have fun doing it, you know what I mean? Oh man. All right, I'm gonna get a drink of water. There's so much pollen and dust and everything flying around back here. I might go ahead and put that shirt back over my face. It's just getting so hot. I didn't want to. And yeah, I don't know, I'm gonna work until probably until dark or pretty late and get as much as I can done, because the thing is, I'm giving myself 3 days a week to do crazy wild mowing, a day of driving, a day of doing stuff on the computer, and 2 days with the family so that we could, I don't know what I was doing with my fingers, but 2 days with the family so that we can go out and do stuff like fishing with my daughter and making memories and going to the ocean, going to the mountains, going to some historical museum, stuff like that. So I think that's very important. That's called work-life balance, or about as balanced as I can possibly get, because the thing is, if I could, I would work every day. So I have to force myself to make sure I spend time with my family. That sounds horrible. Don't get me wrong. I want to spend time with them all the time, but I know that as the provider of the household, if I don't do what I'm supposed to do, they suffer, and that is not okay for me. I want them to have a beautiful life, and if that means I take on the burden of work, I'm just fine with that. If you're in the position where you don't understand that you should take on the burden of work so that somebody else can have a beautiful life, you'll have a beautiful life being a servant. At least that's the way I see it. I don't know. I don't want to tell you what to do with your life. Enjoy your life. Do what you do. This is what I do to enjoy my life. And isn't it wild? A couple of years ago, I was like, I'm telling you, I'm just doing this. And there was this one guy early on. Whatever. Let's get back to work. I'm wasting time. So I just want you guys to know I'm going through this stuff completely blind. This was already down, but the mower kind of caught it and then pulled it back, and the way it positioned between the mower and then went between my two legs, so it put pressure on my left leg, and yeah, so I had to pull my leg off. But if it would have got caught, this is a situation where it could have, you know, broke my leg or something stupid. So I'm going to toss this to the side along with the other things that I have hit in the lawn that are not organic, and then I'll pick them up when I'm done. captain's log. Crew date 17. We're somewhere in the south, cutting the wilderness and the wild. We got crazy kudzu vine, which looks oddly like overgrown poison ivy. No, I'm just kidding. Have this line on my rig. It's Black Diamond, Echo Black Diamond. I hate this stuff. Hate it. I have a problem with string weld with it. It breaks non-stop. some people love it. Some people swear by it. But for when it comes to doing stuff like I do, or even when I was doing regular lawn maintenance, I just don't like it. Well, it's a gamble. Let's see if we get it. Alright, at this point I'm getting tired of messing around with string. I'm going to go to 3-blade brush blade.
No thing in your life just happened. There are some things that you learn in the process, in the painful grappling of climbing up to a place rather than being zapped to a place. The things that you went through getting there give you the tenacity to stay there. The fight is your friend. My life was shaped in part through tragedies. And the weird thing about tragedies is that they don't tell you that they're shaping you. Intellect can describe it, but only instinct can fathom it. People always remember and talk about how you made it, and you're king, or you're the president, or you're the pope, or whoever you are, but they don't understand what all you went through to get there. By the time I figured out what life was all about, it was time to go. I've been sick before. I made it. I've been broke before. I made it. I've been brokenhearted before. I made it. I cried all night, but I made it. I've been betrayed, but I made it. I've been lied on, but I made it. I've been destitute, but I made it. I've been rejected, but I made it. Sometimes when you're imagining how things are going to go, they don't go the way you imagined. And if you're a weak person, you will quit because it didn't go the way you imagined it. If you don't learn how to master the breaking point, you may have many ventures, but you will not accrue massive success in any area because you have not mastered the breaking point. Every time life runs you to a breaking point, you will give up and quit. You will back away and run. You will say, this is too hard, this is too emotional, this is too stressful, and you will back away. You cannot be a champion until you have survived a breaking point. If you don't learn how to touch people, you can never stop the issues that exist internally or externally in your church, in your life, in your family, in your business. So the one thing that the enemy is determined to do when you are at a breaking point, the first thing he wants to do is isolate you. The only thing wrong with your dream is that you're trying to do it by yourself. The difference between start and finish is determined by how you handle the breaking point. In the process of going up, whenever wheat comes up, tear comes up to the same proportion. Or let me say it in a way that's familiar to you, new levels bring new devils. So while you're coming up, on one side, your haters, problems, situations, circumstances, responsibilities, debt factors, bills, organizational infrastructure needs all come up at the same level. That one fact, you can't come up over here and not come up over there. They both grow up together. Just because your circumstance don't reflect it right now doesn't mean that you don't have it. Believe in yourself and get up out of there and go do what you've got to do. It is not the movement of the clock that produces the newness of life. It is the movement in your mind. You're going to hear all kinds of things said about you. Throw it behind you. The enemies that you see today, you will see them no more. No weapon formed against you shall be able to prosper. Every tongue that riseth against you, God will condemn. This is my time. Truth of the matter is, everybody in here is going through a change. You don't have to be ashamed of yours. We are all in the process of transforming to a higher, better expression of myself. Let this be the year that I birth a higher, better expression of myself. Don't let the habits of my past stop me from this metamorphosis. New year, new me. New year, new me. What separates us is transformation. The possibility of change. The desire to evolve. The passion to get up off the ground and stop eating dirt. I'm tired of doing what I used to do. If I always do what I've always done, I'll always be where I've always been. I'm gonna throw it behind me. There's somebody in this room that nobody would think would be in a church tonight, but you drew them to this place tonight because you want them to be a new me and a new year and have a new attitude and a new mind. Because the real battleground is in your mind. That's where the fight is. You lay down with it. You get up with it. You go to work with it. You can't digest your food because of it. Smiling in front of people and nobody knows that there's gunfire going off in your head. It's not a geographical location. It's not debt. It's not money. It's not haters. It's not enemies. It's not liars. It's not backbiters. That's not the battleground. Stop wasting your weapons on what people say, because it is not what they say about you that matters. It is what you say about you that threatens your destiny. You will never be defeated by what they say about you. You will be defeated by what you say about you.
I dedicate this to you, to the greatness in you, and to the dream that you showed up on the planet to produce. And it's simply this: if you want a thing bad enough to go out and fight for it, to work day and night for it, to give up your time, your peace, and your sleep for it. If all that you dream and scheme is about it, and life seems useless and worthless without it, and if you gladly sweat for it and fret for it and plan for it, and lose all your terror of the opposition for it, and if you simply go after that thing that you want with all of your capacity, strength and sagacity, faith, hope, and confidence, and stern pertinacity, if neither cold poverty, famish, or gulch, sickness or pain, or body and brain can keep you away from the thing that you want, if dogged and grim you besiege and beset it, with the help of God you'll get it. You have greatness in you.
What I'm trying to tell you, beloved, is that you can have a new year, but it don't mean jack diddly if you don't have a new mind. I'm telling you that you can buy a new car, but if you put the old man in a new car, you're still gonna have the old experience. I'm telling you that a new house doesn't make a new marriage. I'm talking about a new outfit doesn't make you a new person. And if you think you are magically gonna be a new person, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, because new life comes from a new mind and a new way of looking at your life. I cannot step into the future and still think in my past. I cannot let the rumors and the stain of what they said about me destroy my opportunity. Slap somebody and tell them I gotta kill it tonight. I gotta destroy it tonight. I gotta get rid of it tonight. I gotta throw it behind me tonight. I can't drag that same old mess into another year.
We all have things that we're believing for, dreams that we want to accomplish, problems we're hoping will turn around. Maybe it's to see our family restored, to lose some weight, to break an addiction, to start our own business. But sometimes as it goes on month after month, even year after year, and we don't see anything changing, it's easy to get discouraged and think, it's never gonna happen. This is as good as it gets. I'll just learn to live with it. We all go through disappointments, setbacks, loss. Pain is a part of life. It's easy to get discouraged, even bitter. Think, why is this happening to me? Sometimes we look at pieces in our lives that don't make sense. The key is what we do in our times of pain. Pain will change us. Heartache, loss, disappointments, they don't leave us the same. Every painful time, even though you don't like it, it's developing something in you that can only be developed in the tough times. Eventually, that will pass. You'll get through it, but you will be different. In those tough times, when you're uncomfortable, going through a loss, dealing with an illness, you could easily let it overwhelm you. Now, how the pain changes you is up to you. You can come out bitter, or you can come out better. You can come out defeated, giving up on your dreams, or you can come out with a new passion, a new fire, excited about the new opportunities in front of you. I may not like it, but I'm not a whiner, I'm a warrior. I know I can handle this. Don't complain about the pain. Without the pain, we couldn't reach the fullness of our destinies. Sometimes we bring pain on ourselves. We make poor choices, get in a relationship we know is not good, or maybe get over our head in our spending. Now it's painful. We're having to deal with the consequences. All of us experience pain. My challenge, don't just go through it, grow through it. That difficulty is an opportunity to get stronger, to develop character, to gain new confidence. Anybody can give up. Anybody can let it overwhelm you. But you know what that's doing? Wasting your pain. That pain is not there to stop you. It's there to prepare you, to increase you, to develop you. Difficulties are a part of life. Now quit telling yourself you can't take it. You're not weak. You are well able. Eventually the pain will pass. You'll give birth to new strength. Just because it hasn't happened yet doesn't mean that it's not going to happen. And there will always be forces trying to convince us to settle where we are. Life has a way of pushing our dreams down. They can become buried under discouragement, buried under past mistakes. There are dreams buried under divorce, buried under low self-esteem. It's easy to settle for mediocrity even though we have all this potential buried on the inside. What are you remembering? The hurt, the pain, what didn't work out? Turn it around and remember your dream. Have you allowed any dreams to get buried in you? At one time, you believed you could do something great. You believed you could lead the company in sales. You believed you could break that addiction. And it's been a long time, had some bad breaks, wasn't all your fault. You could easily settle where you are. Nobody would fault you. The enemy would love to deceive you into burying your dream, thinking that it's never going to work out. Don't believe those lies. It's not too late to become all that you were created to be. Every time you remember your dream, you're removing some dirt. You're digging it back out. The true mark of a champion is even though some dirt gets thrown on your dream, instead of letting it get buried, you keep shaking it off. You keep moving forward. You wouldn't be having that opposition if you didn't have something great in you. If your dream wasn't alive and on track, right on schedule to come to pass, you wouldn't have so many things coming against you. That dream is still alive. You may have tried a year ago, 5 years ago, or 40 years ago. Didn't work out. Nobody was there to help you. Go back and try again. This is your time. This is your moment. Your destiny is calling out to you. Can I tell you, your dream is not dead. It's just not in season. Your time is coming. Promotion is coming. Good breaks are coming. Promises you've been standing on. Dreams you've been praying about. Lack is not your destiny. Constantly struggling, barely getting by is not the end of your story. These light afflictions are for a moment. The adversity is temporary. The glory is eternal.
me just take a moment of silence for these blades. Oh man. Get off there, baby. There we go. All right, we're all wrapped up. Man, it did not go as quick as I'd wanted, but I think it turned out awesome. I'm happy with it. It's not green, of course, because I was cutting down trees and vines and it wasn't really much of grass. Definitely a disclaimer in there. If you have a mower and you are in the lawn business, or if you're mowing something, this is not a mowing type thing. This is a brush hog type thing. Do not use your mower like I use my mower, or you will not have a mower for very long. I'm not worried about the mower because this is my job. This is what I do, is cut crazy wild tall stuff. Ones like this are for my pure enjoyment and for yours. Obviously, being abandoned, you have a few things like snakes, mosquitoes, ticks, stuff like that, that this helps by cutting it down. But let's be honest, this is just, like I said, for both of our enjoyment. So I think it was quite the transformation. Definitely probably the worst I've ever done. That kudzu vine does not joke around. It's you know, luckily it doesn't have thorns, although the blackberries did. They tore me up a little bit, but not too much. There's a lot of poison oak, and well, there's poison oak towards the front of the house, but I think it came out looking real sharp. I think the yard actually goes way back, but we're not going to be cleaning that up. We're just coming in, kind of, you know, making the house visible again. And who knows, maybe they'll come in and demolish this and put something new in, or maybe somebody will come in and fix it up now that it can be seen a little better. It won't be as intimidating for somebody. This house went vacant during Hurricane Florence, so you know that is very unfortunate. Somebody lost their home, but that is the way of life and nature itself. All that said, if you enjoy these videos, if you would, just give it a thumbs up and leave a comment and subscribe if you really want to help us out. That really goes a long ways. Subscribing tells YouTube that you like this and other people like you might like this, and it pushes it out to more people. Same thing with leaving a comment and a thumbs up. So I appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next one, and you guys know what's coming up.